So I'm going to say right here that I, Jeannie Mai, going into my marriage, I want to submit to my man. Let me explain. I didn't notice that I had a hot temper until I got with Jeezy. And here's a person who is my equal and I really respect. And when I would spew some of my old habits, and he was like, like, who? That's not flying here. And also, it would trigger him to come back at me with things where I was like, who the f do you think you are?
Hey everybody, it's your boy Captain Hunter coming at you again. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for checking out the show. Really appreciate it. Before we get into the show, what you got to do? You got to hit that rate, subscribe, and share button. Make sure that you are hitting that rate, subscribe, and share button. Let's make it do what it's got to do, right? Let's make sure the show is growing and going. It is getting new subscribers all the time, and I really appreciate it. Listen, over here, we're trying to make men the best versions of themselves that they can be. That is the purpose of the show. That is the purpose of my talks. That's the purpose of what I really want to convey to the masses, particularly of young men, right? I'm not here to bash women. I'm not here to downplay anyone else. I'm not here for that. So let's just keep that in mind. That's the purpose of the show. That's the purpose of my talks. So today, we got a brief one for you, right? And I spent more time trying to get this information and trying to transfer files from my phone and all this kind of stuff. But let's start off with this. Jeannie, who I really don't know. I don't know Jeezy either. He's a rapper, I guess. I don't know, rapper, actor. I don't know if he's got other things going on, with his life and all that. But what I think that is really telling is how this situation unfolded. So Jeannie Mai, who is a television personality, I don't particularly watch her. I think she's on one of these talk shows. I don't know if it's The View or The Talk, or I don't know what it is. Anyway, so she, I do remember when she created quite controversy a couple of years ago when she was saying that she was going to want to submit to her man. And the way I remembered it was that she said that she was going to submit to her man. This is very important. Words are very important. So she said that in the clip that I played, she said she wants to submit to her man. Well, apparently her wants and desires did not overcome or overshadow her predilections, her ingrained programming of fighting against her alpha side, if you will. And so she gets into an argument, and then you have on the other side of this, you have youngjeezy. Youngjeezy, I guess, is an entrepreneur, rapper. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. I didn't read up. It's not really that interesting to me. But what is interesting is the fact that these individuals get together, and it is a life lesson that we should be learning from this. So, as the title of this is, Put Some Respect on My Name. So, and you can hear from her clip that she says, you got to respect me and who I am, right? Right? Who are you talking to, and who do you think you're talking to? And there's other clips out there, and I'll put up a little blurb right here about some other podcaster, YouTuber, who says that some quote that she didn't respect her first husband. Jeannie Mai did not respect her first husband, and decides to, whatever reason, she's going to respect the second one, and submit to him. 2 years later, I guess, here we are, 2023, and now they're in Splitsville. I'm not happy about that at all. I'm not celebrating that at all, but I think it's something for us to remember. And that is for young men out there to stay on your game, on your grind, stay on your square, stand 10 toes down. Not very long ago, actually, I heard, I think it was a couple, I think they had been married roughly 40 or 50 years. And I wish I can't remember where I saw it at or read it. But she said, but what they both admitted, what the couple both admitted, the male and the female both admitted, was the most important thing wasn't about love and it wasn't about happiness. It was about respect. And once you stop respecting the other individual, then it's time to go. And so you have to do things to keep and to maintain the respect of your spouse and of your mate. Now, having gone through this myself, I can understand the aspects of happiness and love sense of duty, and of course, yes, the level of respect. And I would have to agree with that sentiment, that once the level of respect is gone, what can be done about that? And listen, I regret my, a lot of things that I've done, and you had to come to a place where you are willing and able to confront the issues that you've had in the past. Go to therapy, talk to someone, do everything that you have to do in order to, so you don't bring those past mistakes into your new relationship. So jeanniemai, I think that she really tried to do that in the fact that she talked about, I'm going to submit to this man. She didn't respect her first husband, apparently. I'm not there, you're not there, right? She didn't respect her first husband, apparently. And so she gets with this guy who's on his game, on his grind, and says, no, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. Who do you think you are? Who do you think I am? And now she respects this man. She respects this man in the fullness. And so you have to stand on your square and demand some respect, like you are Birdman standing in the Breakfast Club. You got to respect. You got to demand some respect. Demand somebody put some respect on your name. So I'm not happy about this. I'm not gloating in it. The whole gender war thing that's going on here. I'm not trying to pick side. Well, I am picking a side, but I'm saying to the young men out there, stand on your game, stand on your square, pick yourself up. If you have made some mistakes in the past, as men, you're going to make them. As women, you're going to make them. As old men, young men, middle-aged men, younger, you're going to make these mistakes. Recognize your mistakes, stand on your take accountability for your mistakes, try to do things that will come across in a different way, and learn from them, and then try to make the proper adjustments before you take that anger, before you take that jealousy, before you take that lack of respect out on your spouse or someone or a future mate. Make sure that you do the work in order to become the best version of yourself that you can and that you should be. So shout out to Jeezy for standing up squarely on your game, on your grind, knowing who you are, what you demand, and what you're going to accept from your mate, from your spouse, from your boyfriend, from your girlfriend, from your family members, from your coworkers, whoever, right? Know what you're worth, know what your value is. And when somebody comes out of pocket, you're only going to tolerate that for so long. And here's another thing to keep in mind, right? Here's another thing to keep in mind is that when you have to know when it's over, right? We don't want it to be over, right? We made vows for the rest of our lives and things like that. And they really should mean something. I regret that these things unfolded the way they did in my own life. However, we have to be in a place where we really mean those things and really try to work on those things. But when they're gone, they're gone. And before things get violent, before more lack of respect comes, the longer you stand there and tolerate that, then it's just going to grow. So you have to command respect, demand respect, give respect, as well as giving love, loyalty, cherish the good times, all the other things that you have to give out. We think about positive relationships, love, caring, sharing, commitment, all these things. But in return, you should be commanding and why is it so low? You should be commanding and demanding respect in return. So I'm actually sad about this. I'm not gloating like many people on the internet. Maybe they can work it out. Maybe if this thing that was uploaded by Angry Man, I got to give a shout out to him. I got it from his YouTube page. If it's true that jeanniemai is saying I didn't respect him, and I respected him, and when he talked to me a certain way, it caused him to get out of pocket too, because you're only going to take that for so long. So before you get out of pocket, before it turns violent, before you start using words that you can't take back, before things get out of hand, before the kids start seeing it, family members start seeing it, if your job starts seeing it because you're going in late and you're starting to use substance abuse and all this negative ripple effects and all this negative downhill efforts start to come. Do what you got to do in order to save yourself, save your sanity, save your job, save your career, save your reputation, and all that. But I'm not happy about this. I'm sad to see it devolve this way. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. What do you think about this? Did she ever really try to make a change? Did she think that she could boss Jeezy around? Was Jeezy Is he jumping the gun? Should they try to go to therapy? What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? And in the meantime, much love and peace, and make sure young men out there, stay on your game. If you don't have a game, get some game. Get on your game. Get your education. Get your money up. Get your weight together. Get in the gym. Be the best version that you can be, so you can command and demand respect from your lady, from your lover, from your boss, from your coworkers. Much love and peace, everyone.
I didn't notice that I had a hot temper until I got with Jeezy, and here's a person who is my equal and I really respect. And when I would spew some of my old habits, and he was like, like, who? That's not flying here. And also, it would trigger him to come back at me with things where I was like, who the f do you think you are?